And we are live. So that means it's time to count down in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Geekodrome. I'm the best there is at what I do. Geekodrome is the weekly roundtable discussion of all things geek. I am Jon, and over there, that's Stugots.
Yo!
So, Stugots, you were a big fan of the Better Call Saul after I recommended it those many months ago. And I believe you went back and finally did the Breaking Bad.
We went back and I watched every episode of Breaking Bad because I fell in love with the Saul character. It is an awesome character, probably my favorite character on television. To me, it's like a top 10 character. He's so flawed, but yet he still has this good in him that he doesn't really understand why, because he's just a dick at the same time. So I like him very much.
Yeah, he's a fantastic character, and Bob Odenkirk just plays him to perfection.
Perfect.
Yeah. So what did you think of the Breaking Bad?
I did not like it. I was not a fan. I watched it because I started and I wanted to see how it ends. I will say, as far as TV series endings, it was perfect. It was final, which I'm a big fan of. I think every story has a beginning, middle, and ending. And I hated the Sopranos ending all those years ago because they left it open because they wanted to be able to bring the show back eventually or make a movie or whatever. And it's like, no, you have a beginning, middle, and ending. That's a story. You have something where you can close a book and that's it. You say, oh, that book's done.
Well, I mean, has HBO ever finished a series properly?
Oh, I don't even know. I have no idea.
So just to go off
Entourage, they left open because they knew they were going to do a movie. And then the movie tanked.
Well, yeah.
So it's like, well, you killed everyone that was going to all momentum in a final season that you could have with people getting renewed interest by saying, well, we're just ending it because we're going to make a movie. So then it's not over. The movie then becomes the final.
And the movie wasn't very good either.
And the movie wasn't good because it was a show that was silly and it was fine for what it is. But that doesn't mean we can make a movie out of something just as silly as this TV show.
Yeah, I mean, everybody I knew would tune in because, well, it's free and it's on when nothing else was.
Yeah.
So it was all right, it's 10 o'clock on Sunday, 10:30 on Sunday. What else am I going to watch? All right, I already subscribed to HBO.
And it was a fun show. It was.
It had its moments. But,
seeing someone become an insanely huge movie star and take his 4 best friends or 3 best friends with him, and they're just running amok through Hollywood with money to just, with FU money. I mean, it's everyone's dream. I want to do that. I want to take my closest people with me when I become successful and have money to throw around.
Well, the only thing I never understood about that show is, what did he do that made him such a good movie star? They never showed him in anything good.
Yeah.
He'd be like a C-level movie star at best in reality. Yeah. It's okay, people are seeing in him things that we don't, so they put him in Aquaman. Because James Cameron saw him in some movie that obviously looked so bad.
And then we see one scene from Aquaman, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
Then he goes all in on this. What was the movie about the drug dealer?
Oh, Medellin.
Yeah, Medellin, and that was terrible. And then we're supposed to see him. In the movie, he does what was it? It was a famous character. He did it with Martin Scorsese.
Trying to think. I pretty much blocked out.
Was it a Gatsby?
Yeah, I think so. That sounds right.
And we don't see anything from that other than it was huge. It was gigantic.
Yeah, it's more that they say he's huge more than they show it.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? I mean, but I mean, other HBO shows. Carnival canceled after 2 seasons.
Yeah, there was never an ending for
I
that.
love
Rome,
that show.
they never went back to
Rome.
that because it
Uh,
was too expensive to make.
yeah, Deadwood.
Now, Deadwood, they ended, but it was like, we might take this show to another network, so we're not ending it.
And even now,
Proper.
the rumors of a movie persist.
Sorry. And it's not going to happen. So you just, to me, you rob the fandom of that satisfaction of, oh, this is over. It would be like if MASH didn't have that going home episode, and you're just like, I guess these motherfuckers are still over there fighting. I don't know. Was the war ever over?
Well, I mean, they did do After MASH.
Yeah, but they had that final. You know, they had that awesome series finale where you knew everyone went home, they went their separate ways, which is a painful thing to do. But in that situation, you know, at some point in time, that's what's going to happen. And they didn't ignore it. It was the whole basis for that 2-hour final.
Yeah.
That finale where other shows just don't. And that's what I will say I liked about Breaking Bad. I didn't like a lot of the other stuff that I saw on the show, but I definitely liked that.
All right. So, did you like any of the characters?
I thought Walt needed to tell his family in episode 1, season 1, hey, fuck you assholes. I hate your guts. Even you cripple kid with the crutches, you treat me like I'm a horse's ass. Fuck off. I think they left a lot of stuff on the table that they could have used as far as this cancer. Cancer patients, when they start going through chemo, develop dementia that we call, in the medical field, it's actually called chemo brain. And you don't become yourself. You're altered. You know, there are studies that show cancer patients taking on different personas and responding to a different name. They could have used all that, and at the very least, in his defense of why he was acting crazy for that first 2 seasons, where no one knows what's going on. You know, they could have easily attributed that to being a cancer patient, and it would have looked like they really looked into the life of a cancer sufferer.
Yeah, I think they focused more on his depression.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
things like that. Like they obviously did show mental issues with him. You know, and you watch his mind slowly degrading.
yes,
And they don't necessarily say why or anything. So,
and that is common with long-term cancer fighters.
yeah.
You know,
So while they didn't specifically say what it was, they obviously showed it, you know, happening. But Paper Doll Gun Mall wants you to know that she loves Walter. So,
hi, Maul. Well, I really, at some, I wanted to shake him. And even when he was getting into his life of crime, and they just keep making mistake after mistake, not just in the beginning, but in the whole way. Even when he was rising up to, you know, to be something, it was like, why are you making these stupid fucking mistakes, man? What is wrong with you? You don't know what you're doing. You're brilliant, but man, you don't know what you're doing. Listen to Uncle Stugots. I'll make you a kingpin that could be respectable.
so then what did you think of Jesse Pinkman?
Oh, he was the gum residue on the bottom of your shoe after you get gum off your shoe. He had no redeemable qualities. He called everyone bitch, but yet got his ass kicked repeatedly.
Yeah.
He, like I said, no redeeming qualities. The show's over. He's 25, driving to who knows where, no money, because he was stupid and started throwing his money out of a damn window while he was driving, instead of stashing it and just being like, I might not be in the right space in my head right now. Let me hide this money. In a year from now, maybe I'll be in the my right headspace, and I could do something productive.
No, I mean, he was basically a big child. So,
Yeah.
you know, and he never really outgrows that, even after, you know, the girlfriend dies and the child's being poisoned and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So, are there any particular episodes that stood out for you that you really liked besides the ending?
I mean, There was some good stuff that happened. An episode in particular. No, because what I loved about the show was Saul
Mhm.
and Mike. Their relationship
Oh well,
was to me was awesome.
but part
Um,
of that is you're also bringing in your perspective of them from Better Call Saul.
yeah,
So while
yes,
it's not completely there in Breaking Bad, you can see that the two actors are kind of feeling each other out in the beginning, but they
yes,
meld a lot better as the seasons go on.
definitely,
So,
definitely.
so I mean, part of it is you did watch the prequel series, so mentally you're
Yeah.
bringing some of that in with you.
Oh,
So,
yes.
I mean, Jonathan Banks, well,
He's such a good
he's
actor.
so good, but he didn't do anything Emmy worthy
No.
till he was on Better Call Saul.
Yes. That the origins of his character definitely Emmy worthy.
I,
Did he win an Emmy for that?
I don't know. I know they were pushing for it.
I mean, I've always been a fan of the guy from Wise Guy, the series, Beverly Hills Cop. I mean, he's done, and it's always that same role where he's probably not even acting. That's probably him, where he's somewhat of a curmudgeon and a hard ass, but still a nice guy deep down inside. Where it's like, oh,
all right.
it's the same role.
So, Jonathan Banks, 5 Emmy nominations.
Okay, for that
1989 for
role,
what? Huh?
all for that role.
No, 1989 he got one for Wise Guy.
Okay, loved Wise Guy.
2013 he got one for Breaking Bad.
Okay,
And now 2015, 16, and 17, supporting actor nominees for Better Call Saul didn't win any of them.
fuckers.
I know, right? He's robbed.
Yeah. But let me tell you, as Frank McPike on Wise Guy, he was the balls. That guy was awesome. He stood up to everyone. He didn't back down from anybody.
Yeah,
Sonny
fuck them all.
Steelgrave, Fat Cat Patrice, Mel Prophet, bureaucrats. Told them all, fuck off. I got a badge. I do what I want.
Well, that's all the attitude you need if you're on a cop show.
Yes.
All he needs a badge and an attitude. Gun optional.
Gun's optional. When you have an attitude, sometimes the gun's not even needed.
Better weapon than the gun.
Yeah.
Doesn't go off accidentally.
No, no. Ooh,
So
gotta be careful these days.
yeah. So I watched Breaking Bad as
it happened.
no, I tuned in like in the middle.
Oh.
It was just getting so much buzz. I'm like, all right, I'll check this out. And I probably did it around season 3, I want to say.
Okay.
So like I rushed the first I did the first two and a half seasons and then was watching live after that.
Okay.
And I have to say there just certain episodes really stand out for me. One of them that I always think about is The Fly.
Yes, there were a lot of images with the fly comes up a few times, the scorpion, a cockroach comes up a few times, and it's like a metaphor.
Yeah, but just the fact that these two guys in a room together and just the cinematography and everything pulling it all
Yeah.
together is a brilliant episode. And it's that kind of captures everything that's great about Breaking Bad. So you have fantastic performances, you have great directing and cinematography, you have, everything coming together, and they don't even need like anything big, any,
No, it was all done
effects.
right there in the lab.
Exactly. And the fact they could pull all this off in the lab.
Yeah.
It's moments like that that make me love that show. And the characters are also there are fantastic characters. Even some of the villains like Gustav.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah. Like he's just so perfect.
Yes, when he took out the whole cartel and it was at the mansion, it was like, oh shit, he's badass. He's not just calculating, and smart business guy. He's got the balls too to be like, fuck off, I'll kill all of you.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, all the
And I love that he gave who the hell was the actor? The dude he was in Scarface. Steven shit, I'm blanking on his name. And he's the head of the cartel. I can't remember his name. He was in Wise Guy 2 for the 5th season. What the hell was his name?
I don't know. I'm trying to look look up.
He was Pacino's friend in Scarface.
Let me check. I tried Googling Breaking Bad, Scarface, and it's just comparisons between the two.
Oh.
Which I mean, yes, there are some obvious comparisons.
I'll look, because I'll know his name as soon as I see it. And then I'll tell you what I wanted to about.
Stephen Bauer.
Yes, Stephen Bauer. Now, the guy, I mean, he almost looks exactly the same to me. The only thing that changes is his hair. But when Gus kills all of them, he takes out that bottle of tequila. It's the same fancy bottle from Better Call Saul that they get drunk off of and swindle that stock guy out of all his money.
Yeah, well, there's so many parallels between the two shows.
And I love that. Those details to me make things, worth watching. Because fans are paying attention to that stuff.
Well, it's Vince Gilligan who created the show and kind of oversees it all. I mean, he loves to pay attention to detail like that.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah, and it really shows. But, I mean, then sometimes he gets some really accidental, amazing stuff. Like, there's a scene in the kitchen between Walter and Skyler, and I forget what they're talking about, but the camera angle, she's reflected in the microwave.
Yes.
And it looks fantastic. And at the time, they had the Talking Bad right after it.
Yeah.
Which was hosted by Hardwick. And he happened to be on, like, as the guest on that episode. And he's like, yeah, that was accidental, but it was great. And
yeah,
I'm glad it came out. And it's just like little things. Sometimes, like, the best stuff is just little accidents like that. It's always fun when like you can get away with stuff like that and just look like a genius accidentally.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It was just a good shot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he knew what he was doing, and the scene is fantastic. But it just for that visual in there, it just helps bring it together.
Definitely. One thing, and I didn't know about this. So I know I asked you about it. I had always heard that Breaking Bad, with a reveal of being a series of Which Way books, and it was like somebody reading them, and I had no idea because I never watched the show, but I just remember that being so said at the time, and I Googled the books, and there's like all artwork for these Which Way books that apparently aren't real, but weren't even part of the show. But yet here it is, me who had no idea about the show ever. That was one thing that I heard. But it ended up being fan fiction, and I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I had never heard that one before till you brought it up.
And did you get to Google the book covers?
No, I forgot to.
That's right. Hang on.
So it's Breaking Bad book cover.
Which Way books?
Which Way book?
And then, so like I've always heard that, and then going into the series to watch it, it was I saw all these opportunities where it would be in a Which Way book, because I was a fan of those as a kid, where it's like, oh, that was definitely one of those points where you would have when they had the guy in the basement, to kill dude in basement 12, to not kill him, go to page 11, and it ended up that the guy had a piece of the plate in his hand, and he would have stabbed him with it. So it's like, to me, that added to it a little bit of the storytelling.
Oh, well, all right. So I found them, and they're pretty amazing.
They look just like they would if they came out in the 80s.
Yeah, the Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Yeah.
Like this one, the one I'm looking at right now is You Are a Kingpin by Vince Gilligan. It's hilarious.
Escape from Neo-Nazi Pit.
Yeah, that's kind of hilarious. I mean, there's so much, like, not just fan fiction, but fan art for Breaking Bad. I think it's one of the first shows to really embrace it and show it off. So it kind of helped fuel it.
Okay.
When they would show it, like, going to commercials and whatever. Like El Rey did with Your Puppet video at one point.
Yes, I love them for that.
So, yeah. So the one thing you're not getting out of this is just the timing of the series, because like this is one of the first shows to really bring in like the current, like, I guess golden age is a good way to put it, of television, where we're getting just high-end drama and really strong television, especially on cable networks like AMC and the like, and HBO again.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, yes, Sopranos definitely was the first to bring in this age. But it didn't, like, ramp up until, like, basic cable kind of hooked in. Like AMC doing Breaking Bad and Mad Men and shows like that. And those, once they did that, like, all the other cable networks went, we can do that? And it really just pushed, like, the limits of what we get on TV now.
I get you.
You know. So we can get away from the bad cop shows and bad medical shows and, you know, all that crap.
I don't watch medical shows. They just annoy the hell out of me.
But it's dreamy doctors and nurses hooking up over patients.
Well, that stuff happens, but no one's looking like Patrick Dempsey, motherfucker, walk around the hospital at 4 a.m. At 4 a.m, we're like, oh my God, it's 3 more hours. Please, someone help me.
What about George Clooney?
He's not there either.
Damn it. Well, now I don't want to go to that hospital.
Don't. Stay home.
Because, yeah, I mean, the last one I really watched was ER. And
I did too. And supposedly that was, for the time, done really well. I'll use quotes because there were things that they did on that show that was like, oh, Michael Crichton has sat around emergency rooms for hours and hours doing research. Yeah, and every time they intubated somebody, it was wrong.
Well, Michael Crichton was not the technical guy on that.
I know, but like that at the time, that's what was said about the show. Like they did all this research and they sat around emergency rooms to see how things were done, and it was like, okay, then why are you shocking a systole? Why are you? Why is a nurse intubating? All things that just don't happen.
Yeah, I will see. I don't have that point of reference, and most people watching don't.
Yeah.
And
I get it. Visually, it makes sense to, there's no heartbeat. Let's shock it. Visually, and storytelling-wise, I totally get it. But in reality, you shock VFib and VTAC because your heart is beating so fast that it can't control itself.
Like my heart beats when you're around.
Yeah, I know. It's my boyish grin that gets everyone.
Of course it is. Who could say no to that?
I know.
I mean, really, anybody listening just on audio is missing out.
They need to come here and watch every week on the YouTube channel.
And we are here every Monday night, 10 p.m. for your entertainment.
10-ish.
Yeah, well, we don't necessarily start right on the dot. But it's the internet. We can get away with that.
That's true. That's why, like, when I do the cooking show, it's 8:05. Just to be different.
Well, you're doing the PBS gimmick. I get you.
Yeah, I am. Yes.
You want your own slot in the TV guide.
Yes. I can't believe how something so random stuck with me all, since then. I think that interview that Ted Turner did had to be like, I don't know, 93, maybe even earlier. And it just stuck in my head. I
just remember them starting to do that in the 80s. And it would piss me off when I wanted to watch something right after one of those shows.
Yeah.
Because they also ended at 5 after.
Yeah. It was to draw you in, to keep you around.
Yeah, and it was a pain in the butt sometimes.
Yep.
But we had to watch Mama's Family, so,
Oh, yeah.
Can't miss
Mama's
that.
Family. No. I hated that show.
It's the first one I can remember that was on.
I know, but
one of those.
I hated it.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember watching it as a kid. I couldn't try to watch it now, I don't think.
No.
And I'll just stick with my memories of it being okay and watching it irregularly. There are just some shows I don't want to revisit because I know they won't be good. And then there are ones I'll watch anytime I see them on TV.
That's how I feel about Lost. I won't ever go watch it again. Because to me, in my mind, it was perfect. If I go back and rewatch it, I'm going to find all the flaws and I'm going to get angry.
Well, see, that's another show with no ending. Like the ending.
Yeah.
But so the thing with Lost is the seasons that are the best ones are the ones that have comic book guys working on it. Season 1 had Paul Dini co-creator of Batman the Animated Series, fantastic Batman writer. I'm sure you've read some of his stuff.
Yes.
And then somewhere, it was middle of season 2, season 3, Brian K. Vaughan is a writer on the
came in.
series. And he comes in on the, oh God, what were their names? Paolo and I forget her name. Whatever. The ones that are the jewel thieves who end up getting killed at the end of the episode by being bitten by the spiders or whatever.
Oh, yes. Was that Boone?
No, not Boone.
Oh, God.
But the point is, like, that's his first episode, because I heard an interview with him just as he was coming on the show. And he's like, yeah, this is my first episode, because he was talking about some references he made in it to the radio show, whatever. And he was on it for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And again, that's when the show was good again. And then he leaves, and the show kind of falls back into what it was at season 2 that everybody hated about it. So it just shows that, like, you know, these guys who have all this experience doing, you know, serial entertainment.
Yes, and long story arcs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, these guys, some of them write for years.
Yeah.
You know, I'll highly recommend Brian K. Vaughan's Runaways, which ran for, like, 2 years, I think. Fantastic stuff. Which is, you know, going to be a Hulu series this year, next year, whenever it's. I think it starts soon. I don't know.
He's cashing in, baby.
Good for him. I'll read anything he writes. I'm very far behind on Saga.
Guy. I never heard anything bad about him.
I met him. Really nice guy when I met him. Was willing to hang out and talk, because I met him outside of, like, actually in a radio station lobby. So we were hanging out and talking back in the day. You know, I'm sure he doesn't remember ever meeting me, but I don't care.
That's fine.
But, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, if I meet somebody I like in entertainment, I want them to be at least nice.
Yes.
For instance, my girlfriend is a huge fan of Ricky Whittle. I don't know if you know who he is.
No.
He's the star of American Gods and The 100. Yeah. And it was, you know, I don't care. I like him on American Gods. But she went to Comic-Con for a day and it's like, I want to meet him. So it's like, all right. So we took her down to the autograph area. Happened to be, like, really, like, towards the end of the day. So it was really dead down there. He was almost about to leave early when we walked up. And, you know, he was still such a nice guy. Like, literally, it was like, you know, I paid for the autograph for her. And she walks over. She introduces herself. She's talking. And he stopped, introduced himself to me, and asked, you know, started talking to me for a little bit. And then, you know, gave her the attention again. And I'm like, whatever. You know, I was there for her. So she was happy.
That was cool.
Yeah, so she was happy. I thought he was a really nice guy. And then even at the end, he's just like, oh, thanks for being a fan, you know, whatever. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm a big fan of American Gods. He's like, yeah, now so am I. And it was just fun. We had a little conversation, talked to her for a bunch,
took
some pictures, got some autographs, talked to me a little more. And it was like, all right, we're going to go now. And, you know, we had like 5-10 minutes with the guy because it was dead. And it was just cool because he was willing to just hang out because it was dead. And he was almost, like, literally, if I show you the picture, he has his backpack on. And it's just like, it's like, whatever. You know, it was really nice of him. And then, like, 1 or 2 people showed up after us. So it wasn't just us, but, you know, it was what it was. All right. So,
awesome.
You know, to bring it back. So, was there anything else you liked about Breaking Bad to close it out on?
I don't know. I think I covered everything.
Yeah. I mean, oh, and I love scenes like when they blow up Gus.
Yes. Like, oh, that was really cool. It was like, at first you only see like the good half of him, and you're like, the bomb just went off. How did he survive? And he turns all the way around. It's like, oh, he didn't.
Yeah.
That's how.
So that's one other thing I love about the show. Just that dark sense of humor.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the craziest shit could be happening, and you'll be laughing your ass off, but it's like people are blowing up and shit. So it's like a balance.
Of all the characters, though, that turned up from Better Call Saul that I ended up finding then in Breaking Bad, the one that I didn't see yet is Nacho, or I didn't see at all was Nacho.
He's not on the show.
Yeah.
He's just on Saul.
Right. So that just leads me to believe at some point on Better Call Saul, he eats it, you know?
That's just it. Anybody who didn't appear on didn't appear on Breaking Bad,
Yes.
Anything can happen with them.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's a short list.
Yeah.
And even so, like I love when like guys have made cameos in Saul. Like Huel appeared like once.
Oh, I have to go back and check that out. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a minor thing.
Okay.
But all the Breaking Bad fans are like, he's here.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I can't wait for Bill Burr to turn up.
That's his name I was trying to think of. Well, Bill Burr was only in a couple episodes on Breaking Bad.
But I would still like to see him turn up.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see him make a cameo too, because he's just, one of the guys.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so we're in agreement. It's a great show.
No, it's a good show.
All right, it's a good show.
I was okay with it.
But we still recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it.
Yes, but watch Better Call Saul though instead, and
I think you have to watch both, because they go so well together.
I only watched both because I was so taken in by the Saul character that I wanted to see more of him.
That makes sense. Then again, I pretty much will watch anything that Bob Odenkirk's in. So
yeah, except Mr. Show.
I love Mr. Show. How dare you, sir?
The other dude who's like the Marty Jannetty of Mr. Show is such an angry dick that I can't support it.
Yeah, sometimes he can be a bit angry.
He's always angry about whatever comic comes up that starts getting famous. Doesn't matter who they are. He doesn't like them. Well, listen, asshole, you come up with something a little bit more engaging, and maybe people will remember your name. Instead, you're the Marty Jannetty of an HBO show.
But at least that show had a good ending.
No idea.
It was a sketch comedy show. There is no ending.
Yeah.
It's just.
Oh, I was gonna say, I didn't even know what it was. I just know that they had the show.
Yeah, it was a sketch comedy show. It was like a half-hour thing. It lasted like 3 seasons, maybe 4.
Oh.
But it's very funny and.
He should be very proud of himself.
Yeah. Hey, how many people get a successful HBO show like that?
His partner.
True.
And how many of them people parlay that into even bigger success? His partner. He did not.
Just remember
I'd have to say 50-50.
Just remember this. The reason we have Tim and Eric on TV is because of Bob Odenkirk.
Who's Tim and Eric?
They're like comedians who are on Adult Swim who do really esoteric, weird humor.
Oh.
I don't know if I can recommend them.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're saying that as if I should have known who they were. Like you would never have had Lucy and Desi if not for the Marty Jannetty of HBO comedy shows. It's like, oh, wow, this guy was prolific.
Well, on that note, we'll just kind of end our conversation there. And before we get to the hot picks, my camera cut out last week.
Yes, it did.
So it did. So I didn't get to show off this lovely Bruce Banner pop.
Oh, that's pretty damn cool.
So you can see all my screens reflecting in it.
Yes.
So we gave this away on Twitter.
Kind of looks like me. Look, my hair is all tousled and my beard.
You just got to put on a jacket and cross your arms.
Yeah. I don't usually wear jackets. It's too damn hot. And the other reason I'm wearing a baseball cap is because I have bed hair.
I gotcha. So we gave this away on Twitter. I'm actually picking the winner after the show because I got home late from my day job. So that's going out to somebody.
So how many people entered?
We had 20 entries.
Holy crap.
I know, not bad for, our listenership. But
did Gunmall enter?
I didn't see her enter. So I that's her loss.
Well, we try to rig these things so that you could win. You have to
editorial note, these contests are run fairly and we don't rig them.
Very fair. I'm joking. Of course I'm joking. It's not going to turn into like a Hollywood Hamilton type thing. I'm joking. It's very on the up and up.
I just don't want anybody thinking
next time because I can't fix this for you to win.
Well, but she doesn't want to be a prize pig.
Oh, okay.
Well, but what if we said we had for next week Loki?
Ooh.
So yeah, so
That is also from the Thor Ragnarok
this
line?
again from the Thor Ragnarok collection.
Okay.
You can see he's holding knives, daggers, out to go battle against Hela and her peoples.
He's going to
And
get all stabby with those knives.
he is. And so Banner's gonna Hulk out. Thor's gonna have his gun because the Mjolnir gets blown up, as we saw in the commercials.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give this bad boy away this week.
Next week.
Well, we do it over the course of a week.
Oh, the week, yes.
We're based on the live shows, so usually Monday to Monday.
Okay.
So whenever the post goes up this week, till pretty much, a little before showtime. And if I remember,
We do a lot of talking about pop vinyls. They should just jump on board with us.
Well, we're gonna have to talk to them.
Yeah.
Maybe in the very near future.
Yes, because I've now added to my Justice League.
All right. So who is in your Justice League?
Captain America.
Captain America.
Aquaman. Bob Ross is
Bob
the
Ross.
leader.
And the newest member?
I needed some muscle. I needed a heater. So I brought in Dorothy Zabornak from Golden Girls to round out my Justice League.
And now B. Arthur is overseeing your Justice League.
Yes. She's going to really fall back to the J.J. Dillon role of the Four Horsemen when I get a fifth member. I don't know who that's going to be, though.
We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
All right. And one quick hit. We had the new Punisher trailer this week.
Ooh.
And a release date. So it was pushed back a month because of Las Vegas.
I understand it.
No, I'm totally cool with that. I mean, it's like American Horror Story, which I guess is a little more classy, where American Horror Story opens up with, we're toning that. We're cutting parts of this episode out. But if you want to see them, go to our website and watch it.
Go to our website so we can have the web traffic and still cash in.
Yeah, I don't know. I gave up on that show years ago.
That just reeked of when the Madonna video came out in the 90s. Justify My Love.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, MTV was like, this video is horrible. We can't show it. It's too sexually explicit. But for $12.95, you could order it from Madonna.com, and MTV will be happy to distribute the video for her for a little fee.
Yeah, exactly. Ridiculousness. So, what do you think? Trailer? Cool? Uncool?
Very cool. Yes.
Super cool. Very excited.
I don't think it revealed anything like that it shouldn't have. It told you what's going on, and that, to me, my biggest holdout with the Punisher series was going to be, well, what's he going to do? Just run around the streets of New York shooting up gangsters? Like, it just doesn't work to me to watch. But then when they flip it, and it's like, no, he's going after the CIA and the FBI and anyone imaginable. It was like, oh, okay, I'm in. I'm totally in.
So you read Punisher comics, right?
Yes.
So we even got to see Microchip in there, which was cool.
Yes.
Which, for anybody who hasn't read
looks
the
very
comics,
different than the comic book.
Yeah, I'm totally
That's
cool
fine.
with that. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever. It's interpretations. But it's cool because now we're getting like the Punisher universe, you know, and his kind of world. Yes. And I can't wait to see it. We're going to talk about it in November when it comes up. But I wanted to give a quick hit to that because we knew it came out. And if we don't talk about it now, for it. I don't know when we would. And on that note, hot picks.
Hot picks. It's party time. It's excellent. It's hot
picks. So what do you got for us this week?
Seeing as how we have 1 week till Halloween, I just thought it would be fitting
Halloween. Yep.
To if everyone went out and watched It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
I saw that was on Thursday night.
Yes. Well, I don't have TV, so I don't know when stuff's on. I just go and find it online.
I was actually at the gym, and it was playing over the.
Oh, nice!
People had it on at the treadmills.
Yeah,
or it was more the empty treadmills. But as I'm working the weights, I see it, and I'm like, all right, I can. I have a good angle. I can keep watching while I. Do it from a distance. I know the thing by heart.
Yeah.
But we'll go more in depth on Halloween specials and whatever next week.
Yes.
because it's really the best holiday.
Oh, we have to. There's something I got to talk to you about for next week.
All right.
Okay. I can't forget.
Ooh, it's a tease for those of you listening. There's something special coming next week.
Yes.
And in that Halloween spirit, I'm going with a show I know you don't watch because it's zombies. Well, Walking Dead Season 8 started last night. We have All Out War is starting. So for anybody who read the comics, you know it's like the good stuff for that part of the series of the comics. Where
Is the comic book series still ongoing?
yes.
Okay.
So my problem is I'll stop and like read it every few years because the comic reads in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like it's a very quick read. So I would rather push up like a couple years worth and be like, here's 30 issues and just rail through them.
That's how I read my comic books.
Yeah. So some of them with the apps and stuff, I read some month to month, but like Walking Dead, it's too quick. It's written in that Dan Brown like short chapter, big cliffhanger style.
Yeah.
And it really works for the comic, but it's just I can't read it month to month like that when I'd rather just sit down and get a big chunk.
Yeah, I get you.
So, but I did read All Out War, and I've read a little bit past it. I forget what issue. I have to look it up. So I know what's coming, but it's basically there's 4 factions all living in the same area, and they all have to kind of build their alliances and go to war against the big bad Negan. So it's pretty much, they've added a little more, so there's more factions or whatever, 1 or 2 more. But, it's pretty much like this huge, big bad villain. He was a badass, especially in the TV show, going up against, our heroes.
Yeah.
And there's still some zombies around.
The dude who plays Negan, is that the same dude who played the comedian in Watchmen?
Yes.
Okay.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Okay. Very good actor.
Oh my God. He chews scenery through the whole thing, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, just Google like one of his monologues.
Yeah.
And he's just walking around. He's just chewing scenery, swinging his bat around, sticking his crotch out. It's hilarious.
Oh, nice.
It's like you want to hate him, but he's so damn charming. And unlike the governor, who is a previous villain who's just comes off as just straight evil.
Yeah.
You understand, like, Negan has charisma. He's an asshole, but he's a charismatic asshole, and you can see why people would follow him. So for those of us who are into our zombie TV, we have season 8 now.
Good for you.
And for you, you have something else to watch.
I guess. I don't know. Like,
put on a movie or something. Some Breaking Bad reruns.
Music to listen to.
That works too. Halloween specials. All right. And on that note, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So to find more Geekodrome, check us out at geekodrome.co. We're on iTunes, so check us out, subscribe, give us 5 stars, tell us how much you love the show there.
And then screen cap it and send it to us on Twitter, and you'll get a prize.
Yeah. Nobody's collected that yet.
I know. We got these open prizes out there.
We got to work on that. And that Twitter, it's at Geekodrome Pod. It's also where we're giving away that pop this week.
Yep. You want to win these pop vinyls? You got to give us a follow and retweet.
Yes. So we're also on the Facebooks, though. We are at Geekodrome Podcast.
Yes.
You can find us there.
I'll be updating that this week at least twice.
Awesome.
I guarantee it.
And hey, if you want to check me out, I'm John. I'm at Just John on the Twitters.
You're Just John.
I'm Just John. And him, he's Don Stugots. At Don Stugots.
That's me.
Minga. And hey, if you like cooking, if you like food, he also hosts the Eat Up on Monday nights.
Well, it's going to be Tuesday night again this week.
What are we cooking tomorrow night?
Magic meatloaf garlic knot sliders.
What kind of magic wand do you use to make the magic?
My finger.
Well, I hope you wash that thing.
No.
All right. Well,
That's what makes everything taste so good.
now that we know the secret ingredient.
Yes, my sweat. Never mind the hepatitis A that you get from ingesting someone's sweat. It's okay.
Well, he is coming off of some work at the hospital to cook
Yes.
for you on the Facebooks. All right. And on that note, until next week, it's been
Too sweet.